Students are singing a sweet melody.
Plus, SGA holds their last meeting of the semester. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the High Definition Digital Production Center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for November 28, 2012. I'm Christina Cook.
And I am Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University Student Government Association held their last meeting of the fall semester, and Judson Garner reports on what they did.
The end of Troy University's fall semester 2012 is coming up shortly. Troy Student Government Association held its last official meeting of the year Tuesday night.
And the meeting was business as usual with a little Christmas twist. The SGA senators reflect on how they feel about the fall semester.
I think it went very well. But we still got a lot of work to do, and that's what the spring semester is for, so we're excited about the opportunity that we have in the spring.
The meetings went a lot smoother, and we were able to get more of the student body's voice heard. So I think overall SGA had the best semester that it's had since I've been on it for the past 2 years.
Had these big games. We had these great Trojan walks to support our football team. All these things we've done, all the committees that what they've accomplished. So we've had a good semester.
Homecoming is the biggest event the SGA is responsible for, and obviously the senators are also students, and the workload for these students is stressful. SGA President Will Thompson says he's glad that homecoming went well, but he also feels like the senators are glad that it's over.
It's nice to have a nice restful week after the homecoming festivities. I think everybody needed the break and everybody needed the sleep. So
we've covered every SGA meeting this semester. Accomplishments include the creation of the Governmental Affairs Council, a new branch within the SGA that lobbies with state officials for the benefit of students and the university. Generally, more students were attending football games this semester. Campus Activities Head Cody Farrell says a record attendance by students was noted at the Troy, Mississippi State game. Farrell says double the amount of non-Greek organizations participated in homecoming activities. And after the holiday break, when Troy TrojanVision News resumes coverage, we expect more big moves made by the SGA starting in January. SGA is expected to reinstate the Student International Forum, giving international students more of a voice within the SGA. And as we've reported, some form of a Troy discount card is being developed to get students to spend more time off campus and spend money in the local community.
Just preparing things for the spring. We got a lot of things on the agenda.
Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
Once again, this was the last Student Government Association meeting of the semester. In the spring semester, the SGA will resume its weekly meetings.
But last night, the music that filled First Baptist Church of Troy was to a different tune than normal. On Tuesday night, Troy University's collegiate singers and concert chorale performed their fall concert, taking the audience on a musical travel throughout time.
I try to do a really good job of picking music from different time periods. So we had a Brahms piece from the Romantic period, but we also had an African American spiritual, which was a little more contemporary. And then we had most of the pieces were written within the last 100 years.
And with music being the focus of the night's event, certain selections became a favorite to many.
Probably my favorite is Witness, which was by collegiate singers. And by chorale, I think my favorite one was the last one, God Has Gone Up.
My favorite would probably be Erev Shosho Shanim. Ubi Caritas, that chorale sang, because we sang a different version of it last year, so I knew the lyrics, I understood them, and it's a beautiful piece.
And with the Christmas season quickly approaching, many of the performers and guests say this concert really got them into the Christmas spirit.
I think they do. They always get me in the mood, because it's one thing to hear the Christmas music on the radio, but then you come here and you hear like the choral music, and it's always an interesting experience.
It really was a really nice variety of music. We tried to do a traditional spiritual.
Oh, I loved it. I just closed my eyes and just enjoyed the music.
The next choral concert will be in December, entitled Sound of the Season.
And while Troy students showed off their talents last night, some members of Troy music faculty will show off their skills this evening. The faculty of Troy University's John M. Long Hall of Music will perform a classical guitar chamber music recital tonight at 7 p.m. in the Hawkins Adams Law Hall of Honor. The concert will feature guitar duos performed by 7 members of School of Music faculty, many of whom guitar is not their primary instrument. The concert is free and open to the public.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, the race for state auditor in 2014 has begun. Adam Thompson, Alabama's Deputy Secretary of State, announced today that he will run as Republican for auditor.
And in Mobile, a woman who was attacked and beaten says the assault was not a hate crime. Mallory Owens said her being gay is not the reason she was attacked. Authorities say 18-year-old Travis Hawkins Jr. is charged with beating Owens during a Thanksgiving gathering at his home. He is the brother of a woman who Owens is dating.
And in Moody, authorities in St. Clair County have charged a 19-year-old man in the death of his grandmother. Moody Chief of Police Thomas Hunt says Joseph Batson of Moody is charged with murder in the death of 59-year-old Mavis Batson. Her death originally was reported as being from natural causes.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, the men's basketball team took on an in-state rival last night. Danielle Percival will be in with the details of the game when she joins us next in sports.
But first, President Obama is searching for a way to end the fiscal cliff deadlock. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Lawmakers and the president turn to the public for help closing a deal on the fiscal cliff. I'm Danielle Nottingham on Capitol Hill. I'll have the latest coming up.
When you're finished with your food or beverage cartons, toss it in the recycling bin. Because every carton is recyclable and can be turned into useful paper products. Put your carton in the bin with your other recyclables and let them start a new life. When the contents are gone, let the carton live on. Recycle your cartons.
Troy has given to me so much more than I ever anticipated, and it creates that desire to keep doing something better. There's a perfect opportunity to get involved. Troy has many organizations here on campus that just give you the opportunity to find your niche here, to find your home, to find your passion.
On campus or online, Troy offers you the hands-on experience you need to pursue an exciting career in communications and journalism. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Liz. I study broadcast journalism at Troy, and I am a Troy Trojan.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina.
Thanks, Bailey. President Obama is meeting with middle-class Americans as he continues his public relations push to end the fiscal cliff deadlock. Republican lawmakers are standing their ground, but still are talking about compromise. Danielle Nottingham reports from Capitol Hill.
House GOP leaders huddled again this morning to discuss the impending fiscal cliff. With time running out to prevent year-end tax hikes and spending cuts, Republicans and Democrats are struggling to find common ground.
It's entirely up to the President of the United States. If he wants to protect this country from the dire consequences that everybody agrees to that will happen if we get off this cliff, then it's entirely up to him to make it happen.
President Obama is talking directly to middle-class Americans about ensuring their taxes do not go up on January 1st.
There is work being done, and the president is continuing to meet with stakeholders and others.
Lawmakers are holding a flurry of meetings among themselves and with Obama administration staffers, but so far, no new face-to-face meetings are scheduled between congressional leaders and the president.
Taxes and entitlement programs are the main sticking points. Republicans say changes to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid should be part of the deal.
We're in this mess because Washington spends too much. The American people know that, and we're not going to get out of it until Democrats get serious about real spending cuts and meaningful entitlement changes.
Some Democrats argue that's not how to steer clear of the fiscal cliff.
We cannot come up with the solution to Medicare in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
The White House is also pushing to keep changes to entitlement programs separate from any deal to avoid the cliff and reduce the deficit. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
It is Powerball frenzy across the U.S. today. Tonight's jackpot will be at least $550 million. Vanita Nair reports on some people who could put that money to good use.
People across the country are snapping up Powerball tickets.
When it's this high, you'd be crazy not to. You got to play.
And the more they buy, the bigger the jackpot gets.
One Powerball, please.
Players are confident.
This is the winning ticket, yeah!
They have the winning numbers.
I'm going to win, so I should start planning what I'm going to do with the money.
The payoff is more than $500 million, and that would go a long way in Little Ferry, New Jersey.
I think a lot of people have a lot of high hopes for this one.
Superstorm Sandy flooded this area last month. It destroyed the first floor of Kenneth O'Hagan's home.
So we have a lot of damage, and not sure I'm going to pay for it. So maybe this will do it.
The chances of winning are about 1 in 175 million. The people coming into this store in Little Ferry hope that luck is on their side because they want to give back.
Yesterday the guy said he wants to put in 25%. If he wins, he'll give it back to the town. So, that's the spirit of these people here.
This is the second largest lottery jackpot in history. 42 states and Washington, D.C. are selling tickets. Some people already know how they'll spend their money.
I pay off some bills, buy a home, travel, enjoy life.
But not everyone is ready to hand over $2 for a chance at millions.
I work too hard. I just got off work now, so I'm just like, all my money I need.
Since October 6th, there have been 16 straight Powerball drawings without a winner. But there's a 75% chance the streak will end tonight. Vanita Nair for CBS News, Little Ferry, New Jersey.
Researchers say a simple formula can predict a newborn's chances of becoming obese in childhood. Teresa Garcia reports from Los Angeles.
Tracy Glazner's 5-month-old daughter, Faye, has been long and lean since birth.
When Faye was born, she was 19.5 inches and 6 pounds, 3 ounces.
Birth weight is one factor that could predict whether a baby becomes obese later in life. Researchers in England say there is a simple formula that can determine which newborns are most at risk. It also includes the body mass index of the parents, the number of people in the household, the mother's professional status, and whether she smoked during pregnancy.
That calculation would have an 80% chance of being right. So it really does a good job. It's an important tool.
Childhood obesity rates are a big concern in the United States. More than a third of children and teens are overweight or obese. Doctors say once a child gains weight, it's difficult for them to lose it, so prevention from the earliest age is key.
Maybe this calculator will get some families who would otherwise not take a healthy lifestyle seriously to consider it more seriously.
Tracy already does something very important that can help prevent child obesity. She breastfeeds her baby exclusively.
I nurse Faye 100%, so she hasn't started any solid foods yet, so all she's had is breast milk.
And like she does with her other children, she plans to give baby Faye well-balanced meals and keep her active as she gets older. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as how students and educators in Iowa are working to put an end to bullying, you can tune into TrojanVision Global News right here after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Christina. And now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So Danielle, it's becoming the end of the semester. A lot of students are getting ready to wrap up for Christmas break, but it seems the basketball teams are still in action.
That's right. It's going to be a busy week as far as basketball is concerned, with lots of action throughout the week, including a game last night here on campus. So let's get into a recap of that game.
Sounds good.
Entering last night's matchup, the men's basketball team was perfect in the new Trojan Arena, but they were facing a team that they were winless against. And as Justin McNally shows us, all good things must come to an end.
Looking for their first ever win over UAB, the men's basketball team hoped to find that first elusive victory. However, the Blazers came out with a hot hand and defeated the Trojans 75-55.
We got punched in the face tonight.
And if that doesn't wake you up, then you're not a competitive athlete in Division I basketball. So, you know, in a sense, this may be good for us for Thursday.
The Trojans shot just 33% from the field and only made 6 three-pointers the entire game. Hunter Williams led the way for the Trojans offensively with 16 points, but even he knows the Trojans need a better performance.
I don't think it was anything really they did. I think we just went cold and had a little lull for a little while, and pretty much that was the difference in the game. You can't have that.
Troy held one lead the entire game, and that was 2-0 with 19:30 remaining in the first half. But it's kind of hard to have a lead when you get out-rebounded 45-29.
They just out-rebounded us to no end. I mean, they're very athletic anyway. They've got good athletes out there. They play hard. They're well coached, but you know, they just dominated the first half.
The Trojans hoped their fast-paced offense would speed up the tempo of the game, but they were surprised by the tempo UAB brought to the table.
We never played against a team that was going to push back and forth with us. Like, we're not used to that. We used to teams just coming down and setting it up, but they was pushing it back at us when we was pushing it at them. It had us out of sync a little bit, running back in transition. We wasn't getting back. Our rotations was kind of late.
Justin McNally, Troy TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans will enter conference play tomorrow night against Arkansas Little Rock on the road at 7:30. And while the women's team has not been in action for a few days, that isn't always a bad thing. The team has been using the time off to concentrate on the improvements necessary to start off on the right foot in conference play. The Trojans will open the Sun Belt schedule tomorrow night on the road against the other Trojans of the conference, Arkansas Little Rock. Head coach Shanda Rigby says the first Sun Belt game is going to be important.
Well, there's a lot of expectations. You know, we have something to prove this year. And so we have one win under our belt, and we have a very solid performance of offense in one game to report. But basically, nothing's going to mean anything until we get a conference win.
The Trojans will return to the court tomorrow night to begin their conference schedule against Arkansas Little Rock. Tip-off for the game is scheduled for 5:15 as part of a doubleheader with the men. And while these girls won't be playing this season, an announcement was made yesterday that 3 future Trojans were signed during the early signing period. These girls will be coming from all over the nation. There will be 2 true freshmen, one who will join the Trojans from just up the road in Prattville, Kristen Emerson. The other true freshman is Shant Lewis out of Winnefield, Louisiana. Finally, a junior college transfer, Ravonia Howard, will join the Trojans from Rock Valley College in Rockford, Illinois. Now, Howard was named tournament MVP after leading the Golden Eagles to a national championship last season. And while Trojan football is over for another year, there's still news from the gridiron to talk about. Troy's last opponent on the schedule, Middle Tennessee, is expected to announce at a press conference tomorrow morning they will be moving from the Sun Belt to Conference USA. They aren't the only Sun Belt team that will be doing so, however. Florida Atlantic is also moving to Conference USA, which means both Florida teams of the Sun Belt will be joining the CUSA. Florida International and North Texas both announced last season that they would be leaving the belt for Conference USA. The battle for the Palladium may only happen a few more times, but that would mean Troy would have 2 rivals in Conference USA, those being UAB and Middle. So while the basketball team was unable to pick up a win last night, hopefully they can regain some momentum and both teams can have some success on the road tomorrow night beginning the Sun Belt Conference schedule. We wish them the best of luck on the road. Hopefully they can bring home some wins.
Absolutely. Best of luck to them and congratulations to the women that signed on with the women's basketball team.
That's right. Beginning this new era, bringing in those new players. Hopefully we can have some success.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you.
Coming up on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor sits down with this year's Miss Troy University.
But first, today was cool and clear. Is this brisk weather going to stick around for the rest of the week? Brittany?
We may be in for a slight change. Stick around for your local weather up next.
Hi, I'm Alton Brown, and I used to have a goat. Where did my goat go? Well, it went to a family who really needed it, just like the heifer cow I used to have and the water buffalo, which was really too big for my place anyway. Now, why send livestock? Why not say tractors? Because giving an animal is like giving someone a small business. All that wool, the milk, the eggs turn into income for medicine, school, clothing, a better home, a sustainable livelihood. It even produces fertilizer for crops. And of course, it makes more livestock because, you know, animals make baby animals, That's what they do. The next thing you know, the family that you gave your gift to is passing on the gift of the animal's offspring to another family who does the same thing, and so on, until pretty soon you have helped to lift an entire community out of poverty, all with your gift to Heifer International. That is a recipe for lasting change.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Brittany Drawdy joins us for a look at weather.
So, Brittany, the temperatures have been kind of up and down in the daytime. It's kind of in the 70s a little bit, but as soon as that night falls, it seems like the temperature gets really chilly outside. What can we expect for this weekend?
We have been going through a cool day today, actually, and it'll be a slight change for the weekend, but I'll get to that later. Right now, we can take a look at our campus snapshot and see the cool evening that we have out going on right now. Definitely cooling off. Going into the evening, if you're going outside this evening, definitely grab a jacket. It's going to cool right off. Current conditions as of right now, skies are clear. Temperature at 58 degrees. Dew point at 33%. Humidity at 39%. Barometer at 30.32 and fall. And winds from the north to northwest at 6 miles per hour. Today's stats, a high of 60 degrees, low of 50. No rain. Sunrise at 6:23 a.m. and a sunset at 4:40 p.m. Mobile sitting at 60 and clear as we look across the state of Alabama. It's really nice, clear as we go through. It seems to be very even as we go throughout temperatures. Huntsville at 50, Birmingham 55, Montgomery and Troy both at 58, Dothan at 56, and Phoenix City at 60. To the southeast, we can see everything staying cool. In the Atlanta 56, Columbia 57, staying right there in those mid-50s as we go into the evening. Current temperatures over the U.S., things are saying 50s. You see the 40s and 30s towards the north, but as you see down towards us, we're staying in those 50, 60 range. Departure from normal, we're actually 9 degrees cooler, and as for tomorrow, we're going to be 9 degrees cooler than we are normally this time of year, even though we think that it should be cooler weather as we go into December. Current surface, we see a high pressure system here. The last couple days, a lot going on. Not much today and not much going on for the rest of the week as we see this high pressure system to the north of us. But as we stay here, we just have some of that wind coming through. But other than that, not too much. Next 48 hours, our rain chance is staying out of the way. Not too much going on here in the southeast. Thursday, same thing. It's going to stay clear and nice as we go into Friday. Same thing. We're going to stay clear. Thank goodness the rain stays out for Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be really nice. Hopefully the rain will stay away and we won't have any chance, if so, a very low chance of anything happening as we go into our weekend. Tonight's forecast, we're going to see those mostly clear skies. It is going to be dropping to 35. We're not hitting the freezing point yet, but we're getting really close to it. So if you're going out, you're doing anything this evening, make sure to grab those jackets and those extra layers. It will be pretty chilly. Light and variable winds coming from the north-northeast around 4 miles per hour. And tomorrow, good thing, mostly sunny. The sun's going to come back out and warm up, and we're actually going to be seeing a big difference in the daytime and the nighttime. We're going to be seeing 35 at night, and then it's going to warm up to 66, hitting almost to 70 as we go into later in the week. Winds are going to be light and variable coming from the east to southeast around 7 miles per hour. Look to see the sun out and not many clouds as we go throughout tomorrow. 4-day forecast. Thursday, bright sunshine, high of 66, dropping to a low of 40 for Thursday evening, which will be clear. Friday, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 70, only dropping to a low of 45. Things are warming up as we go into Friday and to Saturday. Saturday is going to be partly cloudy, a high of 71, already reaching back into the 70s. Going to see a warm, very warm weekend. A low of 47 as we go into Saturday evening. And Sunday, we're going to see those partly cloudy skies and a high of 73. So, Christina, right now we're seeing a very cool day, cooler evenings, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be seeing really 70-degree weather. So it's going to be really nice. Jackets during the evening, but I mean, it's going to be really nice T-shirt weather during the day.
Well, that's pretty good, especially since, we have a basketball game coming up this weekend, right? So I think that's pretty good. If I can throw on just a nice T-shirt and some jeans and go and support the basketball team.
It'll be a great weekend to get out and go someplace for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you.